The Western mindset is a Greek mentality. You know, in the Greek mentality and the Hebrew mentality is very different. The Hebrew mentality doesn't really use the word is. For instance, if I was to ask, sorry, can I borrow that? If I was to ask someone to describe this for me, would you describe that to the folks?
Gray and silver, slender.
Can you hear that? It says it's gray, it's silver, it's slender.
Has a cool little translucent.
It has a cool translucent stuff.
And I want it.
And I want it. Okay. Western mindset, awesome. I want it. What happens in our default mechanism is we see this as a separate entity from who we are. So I describe it as a separate entity. In the Hebrew mindset, that never really took place. The Hebrew description is I write with it because it becomes a part of my function and what I do with it. And our default mechanism is to describe stuff and have it as a separate entity from us. And that's what discipleship has become, and that's what knowledge base has become. So everything we're looking in our churches is to give them more information, describing the stuff to them, and it remains a separate entity. And so what we're holding before the congregation is a vision of saying, what does that mean for me and what I do with it? Obedience-based response. And so we're not forcing anyone, but cell groups would discuss the information, and Bible classes would discuss the information, and all we want to do is we want to get more information. And we have to transition to saying, what do we do with it? And so we encourage them to have a Discovery Bible study for that reason, to respond in obedience. But the second reason is so that they can learn how easy it is to do it with a view of reproducing the process. So no one in cell groups was really producing very well because it wasn't that simple. And you had to be a guru. You had to have all the answers. You had to be a trained professional. For years you had to train. You had to be an intern. And then that's also the church mentality. How can someone lead if they haven't been trained and been equipped, and they have to be massively mature, and then they can lead. And so we're changing. We have to break that mindset to say absolutely anyone can do it, absolutely anyone can reproduce. So the reason we're having Discovery Bible studies instead of cells, obedience response, but also to teach people that absolutely everyone can do it. Now they can respond in obedience to Matthew 28 and Luke 10 and go find a person of peace and start a Discovery Bible study.